Hi guys, Hamad Benaicha here for Android.ca. Today we're gonna replace a keyboard that was liquid damaged on a MacBook Air model A1466. We're gonna do it step by step. I'm gonna show you what to do, what not to do. I'm gonna give you a couple of tricks as usual. So let's get started. Well, hi guys. Okay, so we need to remove the back cover. Okay, I already went ahead and removed the screws to speed up the process a little bit. Okay, so there you go. First thing you want to do all the time, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, unplug the power of the battery. Doesn't matter what model you're working on, first thing you always do is unplug the power, because just in case by accident you drop your keyboard on, your screwdriver on there, or anything metallic like a screw, you don't want to short anything on the board. Okay, if the battery is unplugged, the only thing damage you can do to the board is if you scratch it or something. Okay, so battery off first. Okay, now what we want to do in this model, you want to remove the battery, because we want to test the new keyboard before we install it. The reason why you don't want to do that, is because sometimes, even though it's a brand new keyboard, sometimes they come defective. One key is not working, something is wrong with the keyboard, and you don't want to find out right after you actually finish installing it that there's something wrong. So unfortunately, to test a keyboard, there is no real easy way but this way. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to unplug the old keyboard cable. Here you go, that's the trackpad. Okay, so you lift this over here and you pull the keyboard out. Okay, then you grab a new keyboard. There you go. Okay, and you plug it in gently. Okay, you don't want to damage anything on the trackpad. Gently. Okay, nothing should fit by force. If something is not coming in easily, there's something wrong. Okay, so because I don't have the password for the client, I'm gonna remove her hard drive, put it aside somewhere safe, and I'm gonna use my own hard drive. There you go, to test everything. So I'm gonna plug in the power. Okay, so at this level, if you're not comfortable with anything, you should stop. Okay, because once the power is in, you don't want to do anything to the board. Okay, testing the keyboard is somehow not complicated, it's easy, but nothing should touch the board. Okay, while you do the test. So if you're not comfortable, you should stop now. Okay, but if you are, continue, watch the video, and it's not that difficult really. Once we have tested the keyboard, everything else is easy. That's the hardest part, because we have to plug in power. Okay, so I'm gonna plug it in. The MacBook is gonna turn on. I'm gonna hit the option key here, because I want the machine to detect my hardware a bit faster. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna make sure there is nothing around your working space. Okay, that's metallic, like that could short. Okay, now remove all your screws, put everything aside, make sure it's nice and clean. Okay, I'm gonna hold the keyboard with my hand, okay, gently, and then I'm gonna turn it over so you can see the screen. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna go in, we're gonna go to the operating system. Okay, it's Big Sur, so Big Sur takes a few seconds to load, because it's fairly heavy operating system. So this is how I'm holding the keyboard. Okay, here you go. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it this way all along until I tested every single key. Okay, unfortunately it's hard to show the screen and at the same time. So basically you'll see the screen with me pressing each key. Okay, so I'm gonna test the shift, the uppercase, I'm gonna test the caps lock, the space bar, all the function keys, especially the power button. Okay, every single key. When it all pass, then I will shut down the computer. Second thing, I will unplug the power. Okay, and then we'll proceed with the removal of the old keyboard. Okay, so that's how you do it. So the machine is still booting, and again, since we're waiting, there you go. So there you go. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna open notes. I'm gonna test every key. There you go. Okay, so notes. So what I like to do, I like to start with the uppercase. So let me see if I can do both. So I'm gonna press the back. There you go. Those keys. Oh, you can see. Okay, good. Okay, so that's going. The brightness keys are working. Next, I'm gonna press this button. I'm gonna press escape, see if it goes away. Good. So those keys are working. And then there is this, but you need to cover it with something. This is for the backlight. Okay, but I need to cover it with something, otherwise it's not gonna work. It has to be dark. There you go. So now, see, they're working. Because the sensor for the backlight on this model is over here, beside the camera. Okay, good. So the backlight for the keyboard works. Then we're gonna test the volume. Yes, yes. Now we're gonna press the power button, and I should see this. Perfect. So the power button is also good. Beautiful. So far so good. So now we're gonna move on to the first. Okay, and I do it fairly quickly. Delete key, yes. Tab, move on, yes. Query, the first, yes, they are good. So this is how I do it, because I'm gonna move fast. It's a business, so I go like this with my thumb. Okay, to do it fast. If it's your own personal computer, you don't have to speed up, but I gotta move fast because I gotta move on to the next job after. Okay, so good. Okay, I'm gonna test the shift key. Yeah. Let's try again. Yeah. Return. Yeah. The arrows up, right, up again, right, left, down. Okay, they're all working. Let's go back up. Let's press the space bar. Yeah, good. Okay, now we're gonna go to the shift key on the left. Yeah, it's working perfect. Now I'm gonna do the caps lock. Make sure it all works perfect. Slide up and it's working. I'm gonna try the command and option. So I'm gonna do copy paste. Okay, command. Okay, I'm gonna use the other one, the other side. There you go. Let me try again. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so all the keys are working. Okay, the function and everything. Yeah, all good. Okay, perfect. So this keyboard is good. I can proceed with the removal of the old one. So what I gotta do now is shut it down. I found with the years of experience that I have, especially representing those keyboard, usually the shift key doesn't work or the power button, but I mean, you know, I haven't had that many, but I've had a couple. Okay, so that's why I wanted you to. So now I'm gonna unplug the power. Now we're safe. Now we're good to go. Now there's nothing we can do wrong other than scratch the board. Okay, so now I'm gonna unplug it, put it aside. Okay, it's all good to go. And we move with the removal. Okay, so this is how you remove the old keyboard. Okay, so first thing first, remove this. Okay, remove my hard drive. Okay, we're gonna remove the power. We're gonna unplug the Wi-Fi. Remove the card. Actually, you don't even have to remove it, but let's remove it. Okay. I'm gonna unplug the I/O board. Unplug the camera. Okay, camera, be gentle. It's super gentle. Why? Because if you damage the cable here, the cable will run behind the screen, and you're in serious trouble. Okay, so always be super gentle. Okay, I've been doing it for so long, so now I know how much pressure to apply. But if you're not sure, Don't use metal, use a toothpick or something, just to loosen it up a little bit, okay? See, like that. Okay, I can do nothing wrong, because if you break this cable, well, it's not fun anymore. Okay, now I'm gonna remove the fan. Okay, now the fan has 3 different screws, okay? Different sizes. So try to put them somewhere, okay, together, the 3 of them together, especially this one. You see, this one is totally different shape. Okay, so put those 3 together, that way you know it's for the fan. And then you unplug it over here, pull gently on it, okay, it comes out. Okay, and then we remove the board. So there you go. There's 1 screw here, but it's missing, so somebody worked already on this board before, so it didn't put it back, which is fine. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the other screws. Okay, so all those screws are the same shape, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. They're exactly the same. Okay, there you go, almost done. Then we'll remove the board, the logic board. We still have to remove those 2 cables and the speaker. Okay, so gently pull. That's the backlight keyboard. There you go, and the speaker. Okay, now we're gonna remove the board gently. Okay, never force anything, as I mentioned. If something is not right, don't force it, okay, because everything should be easy. So I'm gonna put this board aside, somewhere safe, where there could be no scratch, okay, and no metal or anything like that. Okay, okay, now we're gonna remove the I/O board here. So we're gonna remove the microphone, unplug it. Okay, remove the second speaker. That's the second speaker over here. Gently pull on it, gently. Okay, there's 2 screws, actually 1 screw over here. There you go. Again, put it aside, pull on it gently, it should come out. The camera cable runs a little bit underneath. There you go, perfect. Okay, now next I'm gonna remove the speakers. Okay, speakers are only glued, double tape over here. It's not that difficult. If you apply a little bit of pressure sometimes, like that, it should come easily. If it doesn't, don't force it. Okay, what I do, I'll use probably a little bit of alcohol. Okay, I just run some alcohol here. Okay, and I'll do the same here. Never force anything. Sometimes you have to put a little bit of pressure, but there you go. See how easy with the alcohol? Okay, I'm gonna do the same with it on here. There you go, beautiful. Okay, so here you go. So all tricks, okay. So now we're gonna remove the trackpad cable. Okay, put it aside. And this is your backlight. That's what light up the keyboard on this model. Okay, on the newer models, the backlight is actually built on the keyboard with the 2018 and higher. Okay, some of them, not all of them, but newer models, they built the backlight on the keyboard. In this case, the backlight is by itself. Okay, it's totally independent from the keyboard. So remove it. Okay, if you, for some reason, this is only to hold it on the side over here, like you see what I'm doing here. If you break it, if you break this part, it's fine. It's this part that you don't want to break, the one underneath over here. Okay, because you're gonna have to reuse it. So if you pull on it gently, okay, it should come out. Sometimes some of the parts get stuck. Just gently go like this. Okay, it will probably happen here too, or maybe not. Okay, here you go. Okay, so keep on pulling gently. Again, if one of the parts gets stuck, just gently. Okay, again, this is only for holding, it's only tape. Okay, it doesn't really matter. What matters is this part behind. Okay, that's the one you don't want to damage. Okay, I mean, if you damage, you can always get a new one, but it doesn't really. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's the cable. Okay, and that's what light up the the keyboard underneath. Okay. Okay, so now we need to remove the keyboard. Okay, the keyboard on this model is not too difficult. Okay, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna remove the screws all along. Okay, here you can see the liquid damage. You can see it here. See the corrosion. See. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna remove the keyboard. The screws, which are all over the side. They are very small. So I'm gonna use a magnet again. And when this is over, when I removed all the screws, I will show you what needs to be done next. Okay, so there you go. So I'm gonna speed up the video a little bit, going like this until I'm done with all the screws. Okay, once you removed all the screws, like I did, okay, what we need to do, we're gonna need to rip the keyboard, not rip, but like you're gonna put your finger like this, and then you have to go somewhere, okay, where you can actually pull on it, okay, because those rivets will come out, okay, they come fairly easy enough, okay. Some of them will stay. I will show you how to remove the one that stayed, but you're gonna pull the keyboard. Okay, so now security is very important. Okay, you need safety glasses and you need gloves. You don't want to cut your fingers, and you don't want one of the rivets to hit you in the eye. Okay, so safety is important. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video again. Let me show you what I'm talking about the safety glasses and the gloves. Okay, you gotta get gloves and safety glasses. Otherwise, don't move on to the next step, which is you need to rip you need to pull on it like that, and it will come out. Okay, so safety first. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video, I'll remove the keyboard, and then I come back, and then we'll install the new keyboard, and I will show you how to put the new screws. Okay, and if there is any left over from rivets, what to do and how to remove them. Okay, see you soon. Hi guys, I'm back again. So just to recap quickly for things you haven't been able to see off video. So basically I had to tear this keyboard apart like this, okay, using a little bit of force. Okay, now what I should warn you, you have to be careful not to damage those cables over here, especially that one when you remove the keyboard, okay, for the microphone, okay, or the camera. Okay, make sure you're gentle enough. Okay, also be careful when you do that not to damage the screen behind. Okay, so it should come easily if you're just careful. You take your time, don't rush it. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Also, what I've done since then, I just cleaned it up. Okay, so I just use some alcohol, some Windex. I just clean up the things, especially here inside. Okay, if there was liquid damage, or it could be some juice. Sometimes it's sticky, so I make sure I clean up everything. Okay, and I do the same on the other side. Okay, just use some alcohol, sometimes some Windex, and I clean up. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Okay, now I mentioned earlier that sometimes when you remove the keyboard, some of the rivets stay. Okay, or the pins that hold the rivet stays. In my case today I was lucky. When I pull it, they all came out, all of them. Usually it's not the case, but I got lucky, I guess. But if there's some remaining, okay, what you have to do, you have to use a plier like this, and you have to go gentle like that, and you twist a little. You twist until it comes out. Okay, and you move on to the next one. And the reason when you want to remove it is because you want to put screws behind after. So if you go like this, let's say, and you break them, and then you will not be able to put a screw inside, because if you remove it gently, as you can see, they're shiny because they're actually holes. Okay, and now I can put screws. Okay, so Just keep that in mind. Okay, so now we're gonna put in your keyboard in. Okay, it's like straightforward, it's not that difficult. So put in the new keyboard that we tested earlier. We know it's working for sure. Okay, there you go. Make sure if it's okay, and then I'm gonna put a couple of screws on the side to secure it, on the corners, and then we'll start putting all the other screws. Not all the other screws, because it won't be enough screws. So you put one, you skip one, you put one, you skip one, okay, and you go on. Okay, so let's put one on each corner first to secure it. Okay, one more here. One here. Okay, now I've seen some technicians, okay, they don't really bother putting too many screws back, okay, because sometimes I receive machines are already worked on, and I can tell, and I look at them. Sometimes they will put 1, 2, 3 screws here, okay, because there is, remember, when you put the backlight and then you put the board, you put the battery, they apply some pressure on the keyboard. Okay, I like to do one and skip one, one and skip one. Okay, I like to secure as much as I can, but like I said, like some technician there, you know, they go fast, so they go, you know, a couple of screws here, 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 and that's it. So, but I like to do it properly, and you know, I take my time. Especially in my case, most of the business is shipped in, so I don't want it to come back, because most of the time we pay for the shipping. Okay, so just don't want it to come back, and so I secure it as much as I can. So in this case, all I'm going to do is just going to show you a trick. So put 4 on each corner, and then put couple in the middle. And what you want to do before you continue is that make sure the keyboard is actually sitting properly enough. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you apply some pressure on each key, you want to make sure that the key bounces back, okay, before you completely secure it. Just a little bit of pressure, you don't have to put too much pressure, because remember, it's not really secured properly yet. The reason why, because if it's crooked or something, after you finish everything, you realize that, example, the shift key or the return key is actually hitting against this part over here, and it's not bouncing back, and then you have to readjust it. Okay, and that can be painful. Okay, so in my case, they all bouncing back nice and gently. Okay, so I can go ahead and secure the keyboard. So again, like I said, I'm gonna do one, skip one, one, skip one, one, skip one. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna pause the video quickly, and then I'll come back and show you, okay, what I've done. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, all done, nice and secure. I put all the screws. Okay, one thing I like to mention also is that where the space bar is, I like to put all the screws. Okay, everything else, you see, you can skip one off, one on, one off, one off. The space bar and the enter key and the shift, the one that get used a lot, I like to put screws properly, okay, because it gets a lot of use. Okay, so again, before I do anything, now we can test each key, make sure they all bounce back, all good. So we're gonna move on and put everything back. So the first thing, we're gonna reverse. We're gonna start with the backlight, the keyboard backlight. Okay, there we go. So put everything back in reverse. There you go. So now, nice and secured. I'm gonna put the keyboard back. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna start with the I/O board, if I can find it. There it is. There you go. So you want to put the camera cable underneath, okay, in that slot, which is made for, just a little bit underneath like that, and then I'm gonna secure it with a screw. There you go. Perfect. Then we're gonna put on the microphone cable. Voila. Okay. Okay, now we have two choices. We can put the speakers first or put the board first. So I'm gonna start with the speakers. You know, the speakers, when we removed it earlier, okay, it should still be sticky. If it's not, we can always add a little bit of tape. But as I said, because this machine came from far away, I don't want it to come back, or the client say, oh, I hear something banging inside because something is loose. Maybe the speaker will come loose or something. So I'm gonna put fresh tape, double tape, on each side. There you go. This is really really sticky. This is a 3M. Those are really good double tape. Okay, they come in different shapes, different sizes. Okay, but they're really good quality tape. So you don't have to put some in yours, but if you must, it doesn't hurt. So there you go. The cable has to go back. There you go. And I'm gonna plug in the speaker. Take your time, especially with electronics. There you go. I'm gonna put in the other speaker. Make sure it's nice and clean. There is nothing there. If you see any dust, you can remove it. There you go. Put some pressure. Make sure it holds. Yeah, perfect. Voila, very good. Okay, now next, I'm gonna put in the board. So the board is over here. Let's grab it. Okay. Just remove a bit of dust here. Okay, so this is how I do like putting the board. I go this side first. Obviously, make sure the Wi-Fi cable, the antenna is off. Okay. The microphone, and then the backlight. Okay. On this side over here, gently, it should align properly. I'm gonna put one screw so it doesn't move anymore. Perfect. Now we can plug in the backlight cable, the speaker, the mic. Okay, we can plug in the microphone. No, sorry, the microphone, the speaker, the LCD cable. By the way, if you didn't notice, I speak French. I'm actually born in France. I've been in Canada the last over 25 years. I arrived here in 1995. I love this country. I love Toronto. And I also have a channel about teaching French. So if you're looking, or if you have kids who want to learn French, if you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see I have an area dedicated that's teaching French. So in case you wonder what the accent. I also speak Arabic, by the way. We're gonna put the fan. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, now remember I asked you to put the screws on the side. So here they are. Okay, the longest one goes at the top here. and there is a short one that goes here. And the reason why you don't want to put the tall one here, because if you do, you're gonna force this bracket and it will break. Okay, I've seen many MacBook come over here where they did that. Okay, this breaks because it's gonna the long screw is gonna push against it. It's gonna lift it and it's gonna break it. So that's why those screws, you should put them aside, not to mix them up. And it's the fan, so it's for important for machine to cool off. Okay, now we're gonna put back the cable. If I see any dust, I should scan it quickly. And finally, we're gonna put the trackpad cable, and then we'll put the Wi-Fi card, and we'll test one more time before we finish putting all the screws. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna put the battery. I'm just gonna put just one screw. Okay, and then we're gonna use my hard drive again. Okay, now this one, here it is. Okay, now we're gonna put in power. Okay, the machine is live, so we have to be careful. There you go, power up, turn on, perfect. Okay, again, watching this video, I've been doing that for a long time. I've been fixing computers for a very long time, over 20 years. Okay, so especially fixing boards. I've been fixing boards for a long time too. And myself, if I break something or something go wrong, I can fix it. So make sure you follow the steps, make sure you do everything right as much as you can. If you're not comfortable about something, don't do it. Okay, if it's too complicated, don't do it. Let somebody else do it. If you're in Canada, you can send it over. I can do it for you. But you have to know your limit. Okay, I learned like everybody else. I made a lot of mistakes like everybody else at the beginning. There was always somebody to back me up. The person teaching me, okay, so that was a long time ago. But again, you have to know your limit. We all have limitation, okay, and if you're not comfortable, don't force, don't do it. Let somebody else do it, somebody who does that for a living. Okay, perfect. So all the keys are working, as you can see. So I'm gonna shut it down, because I do also a lot of work with computer stores over Canada, and sometimes they try to replace something and they end up breaking something. I received one yesterday actually. They broke this on a different MacBook Pro. They broke the eyelash that hold, and they couldn't put it back, and they were afraid that they would damage something else, and so they sent it over. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Just if you're not sure or if not certain, don't force it. Watch the video again, watch, and if you really don't feel comfortable, stop. Okay, so I'm gonna unplug the battery again so I can finish securing the logic board, and then we're gonna secure the battery too. Actually, let's start with the battery. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. So this procedure, as I mentioned earlier, is the same from MacBook Pro, MacBook Air from 2011 to 2017, because Apple made those model for quite a few years, and they're really good computers. Okay, personally, I've never fixed a board, one of those boards. Okay, other than there was liquid damage or physical damage done to them. Okay, maybe just once an SMC stopped working by itself during the upgrade of the macOS, the firmware got corrupted, but that's really rare. Those machines are extremely reliable, extremely reliable. Okay, let's finish this up. Okay, I'm gonna remove my hard drive and put back the original hard drive now that we tested everything. And this machine is machine ready to be shipped back to New Brunswick. Voila. Okay, so if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you soon. If you're located anywhere in Canada and if you have a MacBook with liquid damage on it and if it no longer works, or if you have a MacBook with a broken LCD, a MacBook with a GPU problem, a MacBook that stopped working all by itself and no longer powers up, a MacBook that does not charge, a MacBook with no backlight or a black screen, a MacBook with a USB-C, USB, HDMI ports not working, a MacBook that requires a new trackpad or new keyboard, a MacBook with a flashing folder, whatever it is, you name it, we can undo it. The shipping is free for most repairs no matter where you are located in Canada, so make sure to visit udoit.ca if you have a MacBook problem. I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thank you for watching.